I wanted to tell you a few things about when I first met Matt in the jungle. I was impressed with his matter-of-fact nature and his get-it-done attitude, one way or another. He seemed to me a man who would be creative and efficient with the task at hand. His Louisiana accent added a lot of fun twists, along with, as I was about to find out, his outlook on life. Anytime you're with someone in close quarters, as Matt and I were in the jungle, people rub off on you, and in a good way, I think. I picked up some serious Matt attitude, or should I call it Mattitude. His do first and ask permission later kind of guy is really someone that I appreciate being around, and we just had an absolute blast. Generally speaking, I'm a rule follower, and not to say that he isn't, but Matt definitely is opinionated and very convicted. And I find those traits to be very wonderful, and I use them for energy and renewal when times got tough in the jungle for us. My feet hurt the entire time we were on our challenge. They went from decent to really, really bad to sort of good, but never great. I remember waking up every morning thinking to myself, when are my feet going to start healing? But even if throughout the night, sleeping in the bamboo bed, if they felt even slightly better that morning, throughout the day, because of the terrain that we were dealing with, they would just flare up again and feel worse. So ultimately, once we got more of our bearings settled and our shelter done and that type of thing, my mind migrated towards, let's try to make some shoes. So I took the trunk of the banana tree, which was curved just perfectly to shape the foot, and cut that up to the size of my foot and strapped it with some cordage that I made. And it was heaven, like absolute heaven, for about 50 steps.
The most awkward part of surviving this challenge was being naked in the wilderness with another woman. But that went away quickly.
And plus Matt, as you saw, wasn't feeling well. He had come down with some sort of virus, which at that point we weren't even sure what was going on. I figured I better get my act in gear and go look at that trap again and see if we've got anything. I didn't want to get my hopes up. I didn't really want to think to myself that there honestly could be a skunk in the trap. So I set out on the energy zapping hike, and about 25 minutes later I come around the corner, as you saw, down to that very narrow trail, and I started to smell something, and honestly I couldn't believe that we had a skunk in the trap. I said to myself, no, yes, no, yes, and I just kept going back and forth in my head. And then when it sunk in that it was a skunk, I was thinking to myself, unbelievable. So I had really two distinct feelings upon seeing the trap. These coursed through my mind, and I kept saying, yay, and oh.
I felt horrible. As I approached the snare, I knew immediately I had a skunk in it. I was sick from the previous 2 days, but I knew I had to get the skunk out and cook it for that night's meal. That way I can start feeling better.
The moment that I'm so proud of from my journey is having the feeling and the hope that I have been an inspiration to others.
Yeah, so happy.
And to possibly have people see that age and gender don't have to be limiting factors to take on monumental challenges in life. And also to show how teamwork can pave the way for a successful mission.
While I was out in the Philippines, I didn't do nothing that surprised me. You know, it was just second nature to me. It was just another day in the woods. The moment I was most proud of during my journey was when I reached the 21st day and we made it to our extraction point. That was the highlight of the trip. Would I do naked and afraid again? Well, that's one of them things I'd have to think about. You know, I done did my 21 days, I survived, proved myself. You know, it's one of them things that I'd have to think hard about it.
If you were to ask me if I would do naked and afraid again, I would say I wouldn't rule it out. Bye.